In a little time. Quiet, please. You'll have plenty of time to talk about it, but I got a lot to go over with you. You should have all received. I'm Mr. Heiniger, by the way.
Hi, Mr. Heiniger.
I'm an 8th grade teacher. I've been taking students to Washington, D.C. for almost 30 years now. I started this trip up here in Hamilton Southeastern when we were one junior high back in 1998. That shows you how long we've been doing it. So we've got it down to a T. If you have questions about the trip, Mr. Broviak's been, Mr. Stump's been, Mrs. Randall's been, Miss Ada, Mr. Jansen. We've had all kinds of people on the trip. So feel free to ask any of them questions about the trip. Okay? I really need you to be quiet. Hey, if you're down here just to get out of best, that's fine. But if you're talking, I'm going to kick you out because I want people to hear the information. Because it's the only time I'm going to get a chance to talk to you. And feel free to come down and ask me questions, or my email's in the packet if your parents want to email me. You have this piece of paper, and you can get one on the way out if you don't have one. I just wanted something in your hand to give to your parents, because the only parent meeting I'm doing this year is tonight. So keep this in your hand on your way out and give that to them. This is an optional parent meeting. They don't have to come. They're not going to miss much. All I'm going to do is go over the information in the packet and maybe do some frequently asked questions I get. If they want to come hear me talk more about the trip, the meeting's at 7 o'clock in the cafeteria. Okay? The only reason, I used to never meet with 7th graders. I know you're coming fresh off Camp Tecumseh. My daughter was there, by the way. She was a camp counselor and will be next year as well, probably. And I've been to Camp T. It's a great trip. But I'm going to tell you how this is different than Camp T. One, it costs a lot of money. And two, it's optional. You guys they kind of made you go to Camp T. You don't have to go. Okay? Because it's, I think the trip cost is $1,478, and that's going to go up next year. That's why I'm having this meeting. Because what they do as an incentive to get you signed up early is to offer you last year's trip price before it goes up over the summer. So next fall, I'm going to have more of these packets, and we're going to have a registration period. So if you don't get signed up this year, you can still sign up next year. I'll have open registration in September, probably to fall break, but the trip's going to be more expensive. And you have less time to pay it off. So this is an advantage working with your parents. If you get on it now, you have now like 6-7 months to pay it off, make payments. But if not, it's kind of due pretty quick in December next year. And so the other thing I'll do next year is back to school night. I'll give parents a fundraiser opportunity to give you, or you can come get it from me. Basically, you sell Tupperware. It's the best one I found that Mrs. Caldwell runs it, and she basically gives you 40% of the profit. So you just sell Tupperware for her, and she hands you a check. Now, you can apply it towards your trip. You can pocket it, bring it as spending money. You can do whatever you want. But it's an opportunity if you need to raise some of the money. I'd work a deal out with your parents. Tell them you're going to pay a little bit. That you'll spend some of your babysitting money or mowing money this summer on the trip that you really want to go, because that's a lot of money for them to spend. But it's worth it. I've never had a student tell me they didn't have a great time on the trip. I've never, ever had somebody say it wasn't worth it. There's that. Discount price, and now it's only a $49 deposit to get you signed up. That's all you have to do. It tells you how to register in here. You don't give this to me. World Strides, the tour company, handles everything. So you mail it into them, or you can call them up with a credit card. Your parents can call them with a credit card. You probably shouldn't use their credit card. Or you can go online. You need the trip ID number, which is on here as well. You don't end up with Riverside or HSE or something like that. By the way, if you're going to another school next year, redistricted, just contact that school. Everybody's offering the same trip at the same time. Contact them. And if you know somebody that's coming here next year, I've already had some parents contact me. Just have them email me, and I can send them electronically this information so they can get signed up for our trip if they're going to be here. There's trip insurance you can get. That's up to your parents. It basically guarantees you get your money back besides the trip insurance. But when you're spending $1,000 and you get really sick next year, you know, you might want to purchase it. That'd be the only reason. Here's other reasons how it's different than Camp Tecumseh. We fly a plane to get out there. We don't take a school bus. And we have nice charter buses once we get out there taking us around that have plug-ins and stuff for chargers and everything. Real nice tour buses and nice, we get the same tour guides that take us around and tell us everything. We stay at a nice hotel, not a cabin. It's usually like kind of a Marriott, Hilton type of thing. The price is based on 4 to a room. Okay. Another reason the way we're different is you don't have a camp counselor in your room with you or a parent, unless you choose to have your parent go with you. But it's basically you and your buddies. I have to have 4. That's the biggest thing, is I have to have 4 in a room. So if you're going, at least find some other person that maybe 2 and 2, we can pair you up. Or ideally, next February when I do roommate selections, I give you a sheet and you write down your first, second, third choice, and I try to get with you who you want. But if you give me 4 of you and you all put down each other as who you want to room with, I staple it together and I can guarantee you that you'll be together in that room. But girls are the worst because you're best friends one day, and then the next day you come back and, well, you come up to me and say, I have to room with this person. I'm like, fine. And the next day I'm like, I can't stand her. You cannot put me in a room with that girl. And then I move you. And then the next day you come back. We love each other again. And so, girls, wait to identify your roommates till next year till you know you're still going to be friends. And the best thing about this that's not Camp Tecumseh is there's no work to do. You'll learn a ton just visiting the museums and monuments and listening to our tour director. We don't require any work of you. You don't miss any school. Here's the logistics of it. So next February, it's President's Day weekend, so you're off on Monday. That's when we go. We fly out early Saturday morning. Usually we're getting to the airport by like 6 or 7. Maybe even 5 a.m. because we want to use the day. We fly out. We get there Saturday morning sometime. We usually have a tour of the Capitol, maybe take a couple pictures of the White House, see what's going on over there. There's a White House Visitor Center we could go to. We eat lunch, and then we do some museums in the afternoon, usually the Holocaust Museum, Air and Space, Natural History, American History. There's lots of cool things. And then that first night, we go to dinner, and then we do a night tour. It's cool. The memorials are lit up at nights. We do a walking tour if it's nice. We get on the bus if it's not. We go to FDR and MLK and Jefferson and Lincoln and Vietnam Wall. Cool night tour. We usually stop at a grocery store on our way back to the hotel because hotel snacks are real expensive. You pay like $3 for a pop or whatever. So we go to a grocery store so you and your roommates can stock up on snacks and things in your hotel room. 1 case of Mountain Dew per room is the limit. We don't allow you to do any more than that. And then we lock you in. We go do a room check, and there's night security in the hallway. You don't come out of your rooms. As long as you're not killing each other in there, we leave you alone. Quiet pillow fights are okay. But if they come get me and wake me up, you know, I got one of those CPAP masks now. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, yeah. I look like Darth Vader. And it takes me a while to get out of my contraption, so I'm not going to be happy if you come wake me up and do that. So then Sunday morning, we usually go out to Mount Vernon, and then we have lunch and catch up some other museums. Sunday night, we go to a rec center. The first time we did it last year, and the kids loved it. It's like a big Olympic-sized pool. Think of 8 of these rooms. And they got like high dives. If you go on, don't do this right now, but if you go on FJH DC trip, find that on Facebook. You'll see some good belly flops and face plants. Kids trying to go off the high dive last year. It's hilarious. They go out, they smack their face. It was hilarious. But they got, if you don't like to swim, they got full basketball courts. They got volleyball, you know, like racquetball, you play volleyball. Or we got kids, we play euchre out in the, we set up tables, play euchre and stuff. So we just have like rec night one night, which is kind of fun. Monday's our trip out to Arlington National Cemetery. We see the changing of the guard. We have a wreath laying ceremony. If you have some military in your family or connection that would mean something to you, I have a little essay contest. You tell me why it's meaningful, and we pick 4 wreath layers to represent the school who get to approach the tomb and present the wreath and everything. That's kind of fun. We sometimes get out to the National Cathedral. It's a really cool cathedral. And sometimes we go see the pandas at the zoo if we have time before we fly out. So we fly out Saturday, we tour Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're off school. We're back Monday night sometime, we have school on Tuesday. Unless you're sick, you're expected to be there. So usually I have half the people that are sick and aren't there anyway. Okay, I gave you kind of a brief overview. Here's some important things. Give me 5 more minutes here, because I want to answer questions if you have them too. So what you need to do now is to take this home to your parents, have them come to the parent meeting if they want. There'll be another parent meeting in the fall if they want to come to that instead. I'll go over the same things. But get registered. Once you put your $49 deposit down, I get a list of everything. Is there a Peyton O'Neill in here?
Oh, I know her.
Is there a Peyton O'Neill? Are you Peyton? You were the very first person to sign up for the DC trip. I got a World Stride backpack for you. So, right now it's just me and Peyton going. She doesn't want a room with me. I snore and I got that contraption all over me. So you got to sign up so more can go. This pretty much guarantees you. This pretty much guarantees you going. So sign up, keep your payments up or whatever. The next time I meet with you will probably be November of next fall. So I'll make announcements and I'll post lists outside my room. Some of you I'll have in class, but there'll be a list. Here's who signed up. Listen, I got a few more minutes. Thank you. In November, I'll have roommate selection meeting, a DC meeting, where I'll give you those forms, roommate selection forms, and you tell me who you want a room with. And I'll honor those as best I can. Again, 4 in a room, you want to make sure that you know, and again, if it's just you and a friend, that's easy to pair you up with another pair, and you can work it out from there. So get registered. All right, last thing. Once you're registered, you're good to go. Again, we'll meet for roommates, and then we'll meet next February, the week before the trip, and I'll go over everything we're doing. It takes me all year to kind of plan everything out, so that week before the trip, I meet with you and say, here's what we're going to do, okay? If you're interested in the fundraiser, that's back to school night. Either see me the day after or have your parents go to that. And you need some help with the money. Let me answer some questions. You got to be quiet so I can hear, and everybody will hear it. If you have questions. I don't know flights until like 2 weeks before. So usually it's Monday night sometime.
Wow, what are we doing for meals?
Oh, good question. Meals, breakfast every morning. Oh, got to stay in camera. Sorry. Breakfast every morning is a buffet at the hotel. So we get a big room and they put eggs and sausage, bacon, pancakes, cereal, little muffin things. Okay. Meals. One night, my favorite place is McGill's. It's basically a pizza buffet that has chicken, pasta, tacos, got a little sundae bar. So it's a big buffet. The rest are pretty much food courts where you get a coupon and there's like 20 different, like you can go to Panda Express or Subway or whatever, and it's good for a meal. Okay? Another place we go to is Roy Rogers, which it's kind of like a burger place, like a Wendy's, and you just go up and order whatever meal you want, and I pick up the check. So
Put it away.
meals are fast food, pizza buffets. If you have special dietary restriction stuff, we can handle all that. We can get you a salad or something like that. I don't know. Good question, though. Another one. Good question. There's
Hey, Dom, RJ, Eli, it'll help if y'all zip your lip.
hotels are getting rid of all their pools because they're a liability and they turn them on to fitness rooms. So more and more it's hard to find a hotel with a pool in it, and most of them are small enough. We have a big group of usually 70 or 80 that we can't all get into it, which is why we rent out a rec center. So we'll have this whole Olympic-sized swimming pool that you can play keep away down at this end, or you can go up the high dive and smash your face at that end. So we're going to a big pool. Yeah, hey, question about the hotel room. There's 2 big queen beds in the hotel room, so you got to snuggle up with somebody. Mr. Brobiak loves snuggling up with me. We spoon. We spoon. The boys usually don't care. They're like laying around the floor, in the bathtub. They're all over the place. Good question. Yeah. Hey, great question. Great question. The price you pay, that $1,400, whatever, it's all inclusive. That means theoretically you don't have to bring a dime. That pays your museum entrances, all your food, hotel, tour bus, flight, everything. The only thing you'd bring money for are souvenirs, which one night on the bus we have a Who Bought the Stupidest Souvenir contest. What won this year?
Students, you will be taking the I-Learn test tomorrow after first period. You will travel to your designated testing room. If you are not sure where to go, check with your first period teacher in the morning. Also remember to bring your iPad fully charged, and you also need your headphones.
Hey, so yeah, souvenirs like sweatshirts and stuff like that, and snacks if you want to buy snacks at the grocery store.
Usually we try to.
Last question. One year it was somebody bought a life-size cutout of Harry Styles.
Why?
I don't know. I think the giant penny won last year for like $10. Or the space socks. Or there's a lot of. It's always a guy that wins the contest. Hey, we also have a solo ensemble contest. On our bus we have a mic, so one night we let you get up and sing songs and stuff. Hey, get signed up. You'll have a blast. If you got questions, ask us.